How did it go? What do you think?
It was. I like the fact that he was sitting on the stage. Definitely.
Yeah, that was cool.
I like that. Like look over at him and be like,
2 feet away from him.
This definitely felt like kind of the old school vibe where he was like sitting there waiting. I like that.
He was real positive about everything he did. So.
Yeah.
Constructive. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Encouraging. Yeah.
Yeah, and he still, gives you some things to think about.
Well, I like the music you came up with. It was nice to play an original and get feedback on that. It was nice to play one of his tunes fairly straightforward. And then I think he really got a kick out of the
That was
5/4.
That was the big thing, is if he was going to be okay with that, especially because you had told us about what happened with your tune, and you had done a little interpretiveness or whatever, and we were like kind of nervous if he was going to like it or not, but yeah, it especially worked out because they played the same songs we did.
Yeah.
So that was kind of good.
That was cool.
Otherwise we would have been in trouble.
Yeah, it gives the audience a little on both sides.
And what was his live? It was the first time you ever heard him play live too, right?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
assume.
Definitely.
What was that? How did you feel about that?
No, it was spectacular. Definitely.
I wish I could play that well when I'm that old.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's inspiring to hear how fresh it is and still the sound. He's got that special sound.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of older jazz musicians, and there's very few of them that actually put a lot into it, and you can still tell that they're out there really digging it and not doing it just because, just to keep on with the tradition. They're doing it because they really enjoy it, and they're trying to. His solos today, I'm sure, were extremely different than any of them he played yesterday at the Jazz Festival.
Yeah.
I liked a lot what he had to say about moving forward and stuff like that. I've been to clinics with other guys where I'll just be like, I haven't listened to music, or they'll say I haven't listened to anything that's come out, in the past 10 years or whatever. And I mean, it was I thought it was really cool about how open-minded he was. Yeah, I thought it was very interesting.
So where do you go from here?
go practice room, right? We'll go to practice room.
We'll rehearse.
Yeah, I definitely liked everything he had to say about the repetition and repetition is king and all that stuff. It's just not, we hear it all the time, but it's just,
How many times we play Stablemates?
Yeah, how many times did we play that song?
Yeah, it was also very comforting to know that Benny
hour
Golson
straight.
thinks Stablemates is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a compliment for sure.
Yeah,
I thought it was comforting too, just to hear him talk about when he was coming up, he and Coltrane, and like we were amateurs, we were like learning. And everybody has to go through that stage.
yeah, it's very encouraging. Yeah, it's cool. Very cool.
Do you guys feel that Benny Golson is just another human being now?
Yeah.
Compared to somebody you've seen on a record cover?
Well, I could put a face to him and hear him talking to me and see him walking and see him playing. So it's different than just seeing a picture of a record.
Well, how does that change your perception now as to maybe that could be you someday doing the same sort of inspiration and telling guys your age when you're in your 60s or 70s?
I hope that I make them feel calm and at ease and not uptight, especially if they're going to play. I want them to do what they would normally do. I have like a drum teacher that doesn't usually show himself when he comes to see you. He'll just sit outside and listen or hide in the back. Just because he doesn't want you to see him, because he wants you playing the way that you would normally play. And it was I didn't feel nervous about anything when he was sitting right there.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because that meant a lot to us when we were playing. If we're nervous about the fact that he's there, it's going to come out a little different than it. We feel totally confident about him being right here in this chair looking at us playing. He was very, it was like a positive figure to put right here on the stage, as opposed to somebody that's kind of just looking at it with a bad face.
I tell you, that alone is a valuable lesson for tonight.
Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure.
it was also neat listening to his old stories, and I'm glad he talked about how he was when he was our age, because it's wow, we're going through the same thing. It's he didn't think he could be to that level later on, but he managed it, and it shows us it's possible for us as well.
What are you going to take from this that you're going to pass on to your friends or to other people? mean, does it change you a little bit?
I think it's you just like chalk it up in the I don't know if it's experience because we didn't really play with them, but it's just like another thing that you've done that makes like every other thing that you do a little bit easier and maybe gives you a little more confidence to do. Like just having him say, yeah, you know, you're doing the right thing. Keep it up. You know, that's kind of, you know, just there's not really a lot for him to say, I don't think, as far as, you know, just keep doing what you're doing, stay on it.
Forward motion.
Yeah.
I think there's very few musicians that like Benny Golson and that can say that they've, you know, have the input that we got from him right now. A lot of people, you know, kill for something like this, and I think it's a great opportunity. And for me, it's amazing. I mean, I go back and tell my friends, tell all my parents, friends that love jazz and listen to Benny Golson, like, yeah, I was there. You know?
It's a signed video.
Yeah, no, an amazing DVD that hopefully will come out. I'll get 30 copies.
Well, you know, one of the great things that he said was you're allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah.
You're allowed to experiment. And if, you know, take that for what it is and come back a year later and play differently.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of yourself.
Thank you.